On Kochie's Business Builders, how to scale up successfully to cash in on an unexpected product winner. The Young Australian of the Year designing clothes for global superstars, and tips on mental toughness from the US Marine who provided security for Hillary Clinton. Hello and welcome to Kochie's Business Builders. Now, when it comes to business, sometimes your well thought out plan or business model can take on a life of its own, which is exactly what happened to Mond Qu from United Make. He specialises in custom-made one-off designs for his clients, but recently demand for a lampshade made from used coffee grounds has shot through the roof, sending him down a retail path he hadn't planned on taking. We sent in Rebecca Burrows from Australia Post to help avoid the growing pains and manage and grow the unexpected revenue stream. This is the showroom of United Make, a multidisciplinary design agency based in Richmond, Melbourne. Its founder, Mond Qu, is the creative brain behind the bespoke products produced here, which are gaining in popularity and demand from customers all over the world. Unsure how to manage the unexpected growth on the retail front, we sent in Rebecca Burrows from Australia Post to give Mond some expert advice on how to successfully scale up.
So tell me a little bit about your business. Tell me about United Make.
Coming out of architecture in a traditional office, I always thought our skills were wasted on just buildings. As a medium, we thought that we can do so many different things in terms of design, especially in this new digital age. We do a lot of competitions as well. We're working on one for Shanghai sculpture in the Pudong district, and we're doing it as a performative sculpture where it would suck the pollution out and filter the air.
Lots of your product is very specialised and bespoke, but now you've started to really develop the retail side of your business. Tell me about how that journey started.
Some of our clients asked us to make some products. Then other people started getting really interested in them as well. So then it sort of snowballed from there. We never really expected that to be a sort of income stream.
These amazing coffee lampshades, where are they going? Who's buying those?
So we had a few clients from the United States, a few from Singapore and a few from China as well. So we're starting to go a bit more international.
So you don't have an online shop. How do people find you and these amazing products and then eventually make their purchase with you?
A lot of them just off the street. They come in, we have a showroom, and also word of mouth.
So when someone orders one of these from overseas or interstate, how do you actually get it to them?
Currently, we're using Australia Post, which is amazing because one of their BX4s fit perfectly. But we're thinking, is there any options where we can maybe customize the boxes?
So the idea of actually customising the packaging that you're sending your product out in is a really great way to extend your brand and give your customer a little bit more of that sense of who you are. So we developed this product called Brand Wrapped. Any business can go online, upload their logo or a new colour or any image that they like and really create a box or a satchel or ribbons or wrapping paper to create that branded experience.
We don't really have an online shop, and moving forwards and selling a lot more of these, we're definitely looking in that realm. Can you tell me a bit about what's involved and what I need to set it up?
So having an online shop is really important. Lots of research shows that even if consumers aren't actually purchasing online, they do a lot of research online. For someone like you where your story is so amazing and unique, I think the more you can tell about that story, the more you'll really engage your customers online. When you actually venture into, from moving that website to actually be an e-commerce site where people can buy from you, is obviously making it as easy as possible for them to buy. So really clear pricing information, very clear information about things like shipping, returns is very important, and then obviously having lots of different payment options available to them.
After the break, Rebecca's expert advice on how to scale the retail side of Mond's business and manage the growth without sacrificing time for what he does best, designing. As technology continues to evolve and competition among small business increases, digital engagement remains a real opportunity and marketplace differentiator for the sector. In fact, according to a report by Deloitte Access Economics, the rate at which small businesses are adopting digital tools has grown significantly in just 12 months. On the four-stage digital engagement ladder, 13% of businesses now have advanced engagement. 37% have high engagement, 39% sit at intermediate, while just 11% are at basic. The report also reveals that SMBs with advanced levels are 50% more likely to be growing revenue and are earning 60% more revenue per employee than small businesses with basic levels of digital engagement. Makes a huge difference. So if you haven't done it yet, it might be time to get your business online and take the digital leap. Welcome back to Kochie's Business Builders. This week, we're talking about how to manage the unexpected when it comes to your business model. Rebecca Burrows from Australia Post is offering some expert advice to the owner of a design agency whose one-off creations have suddenly gone mainstream. Mond Qu designs bespoke products for his customers who come to him via word of mouth. But his lampshade made from used coffee grounds has become the flavour of the month, prompting significant orders from Australian and international consumers. Rebecca Burrows from Australia Post has gone in to help him manage and take advantage of the unexpected revenue stream this boom product is creating.
After setting up an e-commerce store, what's the best way to market our products?
Social media marketing is a really great avenue for a business like yours because you have so much material that will play really well in those spaces. So, advertising on Facebook, advertising on Instagram, and really building that brand and that conversation with your customer via social media marketing will help a lot in that space.
As you know, we're a creative agency and we make a lot of bespoke products and we sort of run around being creative all the time. And we don't really have much time for marketing or social media. Is there any options besides hiring a social media sort of content manager?
We know that lots of smaller businesses, they don't want to hire a whole person to do their social media marketing, or they don't want to do it themselves, but they want some element of control over what is actually on there. So we actually partnered with an organisation called Tiger Pistol, and we've worked with them to actually build out a product which is called Social Ad Mate. So they'll give you a call, they'll talk to you about your business, your products, the voice that you want, and they'll help you to actually build either a Facebook campaign or an Instagram campaign or both, and then they'll actually run that for you.
So United makes a lot of products, but also it's very seasonal. So during Christmas we sell quite a lot, but during June and July it sort of dies away a little bit. But during those high peak seasons, what are a way to sort of manage so many scale of products and sending them overseas as well?
When you have a seasonal business or sort of those peaks and troughs in your business, managing the way that you actually scale your business is one of the biggest challenges. So actually thinking about, well, who do you actually need in your business to help you? So, you can use your amazing talents to be working on the design and the product and the marketing of your business, and maybe get somebody else to help you with the logistics or the administration of your business. Getting that short-term labour into your business is probably something that's quite important for you to think about.
Do you have any final words for me before I guess endeavour on this journey?
So, you have really unique bespoke products. Your design is so much, a part of you and a part of your brand that I think it's really important that you start to look at things like IP protection. Not only here in Australia, but internationally. How do you make sure that when you're opened up to the world, you retain that unique piece that you have and that no one can copy and replicate that? Getting IP protection, maybe seeking out some legal advice, thinking about if you need different insurances. So just kind of thinking through, well, what are the risks that you're opening yourself up to with really putting this out there for everybody? So the other thing that I think is worth you really starting to think about is that you don't lose the essence of you as you scale and grow a much bigger business than what you have. Who can look after the administration for you? Who can maybe manage the e-commerce and logistics side of things for you? So whether that's just thinking through what your business plan is for who you need to bring into your business, or thinking through, well, who are the partners that you need to foster to help you along this journey? From mentors through to actually maybe more formalised partners, maybe almost like your own personal board of directors who you can bounce ideas off to help you with some of those challenges.
Thanks so much, Rebecca, for all that advice, and I'm definitely going to take it on board and see where it goes.
Pleasure.
All right, time for our Pillars of Success segment. And this week, Claire Mackay is here to talk about the right insurance to help manage your wealth.
This week's Pillar of Success is about protecting your most valuable asset, you. What happens financially if you can't work because of an illness or accident? Taking into account your circumstances, you should consider the following insurances. Income or salary continuance, which is a periodic payment to replicate your income for a fixed period. Trauma insurance, which pays out a lump sum based on meeting certain conditions. Total and permanent disability insurance, which pays out a lump sum if you are diagnosed with a specific illness. Life or death insurance, which pays out in a lump sum on your death. You may already have some of these insurances via your superannuation. You could say it is money wasted, but peace of mind that you and your family are going to be okay financially should something awful happen is priceless.
Still to come, the fashion designer told he would never succeed.
Hi, I'm Andrew Wittman. I'm the CEO of the Mental Toughness Training Centre and the Get Warrior Tough program. Here's my top 3 tips for success. Number 1, suspend your disbelief for just 2 minutes. When you hear that voice on the inside saying, "This is impossible," just for 2 minutes say, "Yeah, I get it, it's impossible, but if it were possible, how would I do it?" Tip number 2, separate logic from emotion. Emotion is our driver, it's the engine, it's why we do the hard thing, but we should steer with logic. Logic is our guidance system. And tip number 3 is to have an elite warrior mindset that says, I'm the problem and I'm the solution. If I have a problem, it's not the government, it's not the market, it's not the economy, it's not my competitor, it's me. But the great news is that I'm also the solution. Booyah!
He had a dream to be a fashion designer when he was just 3 years of age. And before he finished high school, he was pursuing a career in a very competitive industry. Paul Vasileff is the man behind Paolo Sebastian, now an internationally recognised fashion label worn by all sorts of stars.
From a very early age, I mean, as early as 3, I was making dresses out of newspaper and wrapping paper for my friends. And, you know, I'd go into Dad's shed and get bits of old wood and make mannequins and make dresses on those. And then when I was 11 was probably when I made my first proper dress. But I always loved art and design and drawing. And I guess it just eventuated into and evolved into fashion. And when I made my first dress for one of my friends, another friend saw it, they wanted one, and another friend wanted one, and then I found myself making school formal dresses for my friends. When I was around 14 was when I kind of said, you know, I'm really serious about this and I really want to start my own label. I want it to be called Paolo Sebastian. I'm going to have a fashion show one day. 2 years later, I set out to have my first show. When I started out and when I was 14 and 16 saying that I wanted to be a couture designer, a lot of people did think that I was crazy, and they would say to me, that's just not something that you're going to achieve. You're not going to be able to do it here in Australia. You're not going to be able to do it in South Australia for sure. You're going to have to move overseas, and even then you probably just end up working for someone. And that was really hard to hear as a kid because all my dreams were sort of like crushed then and there. But very fortunately for me, I have wonderful parents, family, friends, support system. And I think I had enough faith in myself and in my dream to just kind of say, you know what, well, I'm gonna at least try it, because if you don't try, you're never gonna know. There's been so many wonderful red carpet moments for the brand with celebrities. We've had locally and internationally, like we've had Juliana Rancic with the Oscars, we've had Kim Kardashian in Vogue, we've had Paloma Faith. There's been a lot of business skills that I've had to learn in the process and on the job, I guess. There's a really wonderful quote from Walt Disney, which is, the difference between success and failure is often not giving up. And we just collaborated with Disney this season, which was another dream of mine. You know, as a young kid, it was either be an animator at Disney or a fashion designer. Obviously followed the fashion design path. I kind of, I guess with this collection, got to achieve both those goals. And I've found working on this collection really inspirational for me personally, because I think it reminded me of why I started on this journey. It reminded me of the passion that I had when I was 3 years old. So I think it's always really important to remember to stay true to yourself. Try harder to be better each and every day and to be the best version of yourself each and every day.
I just love his story. Some great advice from the 2017 Young Australian of the Year. And when he's travelling overseas, his mum records Business Builders so he can watch us when he returns. Mums always know best. Coming up, Ask Kochie, where you send in a question and I do my best to answer it. But first, If you've got a small business, why not join our community? It's the community fighting to get small business members a better deal, saving you money. We partnered with one of Australia's largest general insurance companies to offer our members great deals on a range of general and business insurance products. So whether you're looking for home insurance, landlord insurance, office or travel insurance, we have a number of discounts which may help you to reduce your premium. To find out more, visit smallbusinessfirst.com.au.
The eventual arrival of the NBN at my office will be exciting, except for one thing. It means our office phone systems won't work anymore. So whether you share a similar situation, are moving offices, or just need an upgrade, a hosted or virtual phone system offers some really excellent benefits. Unlike older PBX or private branched exchange systems, these don't connect to copper or ISDN phone lines or require an expensive box to link your phones together. Instead, a hosted PBX system moves the PBX box into the cloud and relies on the internet for making those IP-based calls, voicemail to email, conferencing, that auto attendance, and linking multiple office phones together. Hosted PBX systems are ideal for small businesses with 2 to 20 handsets. In terms of lines, you don't need these anymore, thank goodness. You only need enough bandwidth to support multiple phone connections.
Let's ask Kochie time. This week, Tamara Malik got in touch asking about the types of insurance she needs for her 2 businesses that she runs out of home.
Hi, I'm Tamara. I run 2 businesses and no, both need insurance, but they're so different to each other, it just adds to my confusion about what they need. Sunday Track is an online store. We sell ethically made accessories from local and overseas suppliers, so I think we need product insurance. We're also going to be doing pop-ups and market stalls in the near future, so I think we need insurance for that as well. TD Creative is a boutique production and event company, so that has completely different requirements. We do events sporadically, it's not always regular, and we're a husband and wife team, so we have no external employees. What insurance, so my question is what insurance do we need, and can we combine policies so it's just all wrapped up into one package? I can't wait to hear your advice, Kochie. Thanks.
Well, Tamara, it sounds like you're one very busy lady indeed. Thanks so much for getting in touch. And it's a good thing you did, because today I've got Robert Kelly here, the Chief Executive of Steadfast, Australia's largest general insurance broking network. Robert, great to see you again. Thanks for joining us. With so many fingers and a couple of different pies, quite different pies too. How is Tamara, her insurance situation?
It's quite complex, actually, David, and I think it's a good thing to look at. You better start with first principles and see who employs them. The husband and wife team. If they've got a proprietary limited company, then they have to have workers' compensation to indemnify themselves against hurting themselves through their own company. And a lot of people don't recognise that.
Even though you own it yourself?
Even though you own it yourself. If you're an employee of the company, you've got to have workers' compensation.
Okay.
And safe work environment. So, but that's a whole extra thing to talk about. From the point of view of the 2 different strains of business that they do, you have to understand, do they operate under separate ABN numbers? And if they do, they need separate policies for those ABN numbers, and because they're quite diverse and quite different, then the type of coverage that's required, for instance, importing of products into Australia, if in fact the person that you import the product from is not represented in Australia, then quite simply you are considered the manufacturer of that product, and then you would need to have all the ramifications of product liability and product recall in case something went wrong. So under Australian law, that's quite emphatic and quite clear.
So you're seen as the manufacturer?
Absolutely.
Even though you're getting it from another manufacturer overseas?
Yeah, if they're represented in Australia and they're on the ground, then it's okay. But mostly in these circumstances, particularly on online businesses, you're importing and you're distributing, and you must make sure you've got products and public liability.
So, Robert, does that mean she's got to cover the goods getting here?
Without a doubt, David. As soon as you spend any money on buying goods overseas, you must take marine insurance to make sure that your goods are covered. And I suggest to people they take that marine insurance in Australia so that if a claim occurs, they're dealing with somebody local rather than a third party overseas. On the other hand, you've got a completely different strain of events organisations, and so you need definitely public and products liability for the event, but more importantly, sometimes when you do events, you're expending a lot of money up front to get the event on, and sometimes the talent may not show. You need cancellation and abandonment coverage to make sure that your assets that you're investing in that, which is mainly capital and your own time, is protected if something goes wrong. So actually you need really good advice tomorrow, I'm afraid. You need somebody to come and talk to you.
It's a good episode to send the question in with him here tomorrow, that's for sure. Hopefully that did answer your question, but before you sign on the dotted line, be sure to get in touch with one of Robert's brokers at Steadfast, because they really are the true experts when it comes to finding the right cover for you and your business. And as Robert has outlined, you have quite a complex situation. Make sure it's sorted out for you. In the meantime, Robert, thanks for sharing. Great to have you here.
Thanks, David.
And don't forget, if you want to send a question in to us, kbb@pinstripemedia.com.au. We'll do our best to answer it for you or get the experts in to do it. Next week, how to prevent cyber criminals from destroying your business and an innovative approach from the world's #1 winery. See you then for more of Kochie's Business Builders.